Hi, welcome to this lesson covering document basics and formatting in Microsoft Word. This lesson is called W5.3 State Symbols, and in it you will see how we can use our MacBook's abilities to format different text in different ways. Specifically, we're going to focus on applying bold, italics, and changing font color, changing fonts and sizes of text, inserting a symbol, applying a strike-through, inserting standard and customized bullets, and applying a border. It doesn't matter what word processing software you're using, Google Docs or Microsoft Word, when it comes to making changes to the look of your documents. Your document becomes a piece of visual communication when you enhance your text. Simply changing the case of a text or inserting a symbol can give your document a more appealing and professional look. Before we begin this exercise, let's complete our basic Word document preparation. First, you need to open a new Word document, and then we're going to save it as W5.3 States. When I open a brand new document, I automatically go to Shift Command S, and then I'm going to make sure that my destination folder is in fact BIM Word, and then up here I'm going to save it W5.3 States, and then I'm going to put in a dash, and you'll need to put in your last name and first initial. Alright, so for me, that would be Weaver T. So I have it named correctly, I know it's going to the right place, and then I can say save. And automatically I'll see the file name up here at the top. So next, following our directions, and I'm going to go ahead and pull those directions up in BIM Word right here, and you can see all the information there. I'll pull these directions up so we can see them on this side, and then I'm going to pull this over here, and that way we'll be able to follow along a little better. So as the directions say, I created a new document, I named it, and we're going to use the default font and size, which in this case is Calibri 12 on mine. Make sure that when you're here in the Home tab, you can come over here to the View tab and see that your ruler is checked so you can kind of see where you're at in your document. It's good to be in the print layout because that gives you an idea of what your page actually looks like as you're working on it. And then another good trick is to use this page width so that however wide your window is, that's how wide you're going to be looking at your document, the width of your page. Okay, so I'm going to return to the Home tab, and our next step is to create the header. So we know that we can just move our cursor up here to the top part of the page and double click, and that will automatically open our header. And of course you're going to want to put your first name. So for me, I'm putting first and last name. Make sure you enter your information, and then your BIM period number. If you're in period 4, if you're in period 8, that would need to go there. I'm just going to say BIM period 1 for myself. And then date. And you can automatically put the date in by hitting Control Command D, typically. Let me see if I can get that to work. All right, we'll get there. The commands are actually Shift Control D. So once again, to put in the date, you can hit Shift and then your Command button and then the letter D. So when I hit Shift, Command D, now I will get it one of these days. All right. Shift Control D, that's what I said. There you go. All right, that's for your amusement this morning. Shift plus Control plus D. All right, so Shift Control D, and that puts the date in. Goodness, that took too long. So get your date in there and then type in file name and press enter, and you see it will put the file name right there for you. I'm going to put one space down, and then I'm going to get back into the main area of my document, double click, and then I'm ready to start putting in my data. Make sure that you hit Command S to save your document that has the header so far. And now I'm going to scroll down to the next page of these instructions, and it says type the answers to the questions provided in the 20 state symbols and facts column shown in the table below. We're going to single space our answers, we're not going to number them, and we don't have to type the questions. We also do not have to put them in a table. And everybody said, yay! So, in other words, when I come down here, I'm not going to type what's in your state's official name. I'm just going to answer that. And here in this box, it says you can use the website 50states.com to help you find your answers. And I put that in there because, here we are, 50states.com. A lot of you will pick Texas, but if you're from some other state, like I am originally from Michigan, and I love the state of Colorado. If there's any other state that you would like to find out something about, Hawaii, you can do any of these states. I'm going to do Texas just because, and you see there's a bunch of facts and figures about Texas here, and it does that for every state. So I can refer to that website as I'm going along. And instead of trying to do both of these at the same time, I'm just going to go through and answer all the questions first, and then I'm going to go and apply the formatting to my answers. So in this case, what is your state's official name? I'm going to write Texas. What is the state's motto? I just press enter, and I happen to know that the state's motto is friendship. But if I come down here somewhere, I know it's there, so I can actually do a search on this page by hitting Command F for find, O-T-T-O. And where did it go? Countryside, topography, schools. Well, fine. School saying. Where did it go? Constitution, population, bird, city guidelines. Let's just do that since I know that it's friendship. It's not listed on there. How nice is that? Okay, so that may be something that you have to look up. Texas state motto. Okay, friendship. There it is right there. So if you're doing another state, okay, you can put in friendship or whatever that state's motto is. Where is your state capital? Some of these we know right off the top of our head. Austin. What is the population of your state? And that one, right now, as of 2013, 26 million. 26. Let's just round that up. 26 million. Okay. So I'm just going to type it like that. What are the colors of your state flag? Red, white, and blue. What is your state's nickname? All right. What is our state's nickname? And sometimes Lone Star State. I knew that. The Lone Star State. Okay, what is your state flower? The yellow. Oh, no, it's not. It's not the yellow rose. It is the blue bonnet. Okay. Your state bird? Mockingbird. A lot of these I just know off the top of your head. The top of my head. Wow. The square miles of Texas. Let's look and see here. Area. Square miles is 268,000. You know what? I'm just going to copy this right off. Hit Command C. It's the second largest state. You know what the first one is, right? Alaska. So 268,000. That's a lot. Okay, and I'm going to take this back up so it matches everything else. There we go. And what is the largest city in your state? Do you know that one? Sometimes we can just do this. Largest, I think I know what it is. Largest city in Texas. Some people would say Houston. Some people would say San Antonio, but the winner is Houston. Okay. And what is your state tree? We know that's the pecan tree. What is your state song? Do you know that one? Texas state song is listed as Texas Our Texas. You'd think it was the yellow rose of Texas, but it's not. And what is pictured on your state quarter? Do you know that one? Texas state quarter. Should give us a picture here. The state and the Texas star. So I'm going to say the state and the Texas star. And I say the Texas star because it has these different bevels in it. We see that a lot around here. And then what is your state animal? Do you know what the state animal is? Guess what? It's an armadillo. There you go. The large animal symbol, but the state symbols included the armadillo. We're just going to put that on there. Okay. And what is our state gem? And I believe it is the topaz, the blue topaz. Okay. And did you know that we have a state insect? Yay us. And no, it's not the cockroach. It is the monarch butterfly. We've got some butterfly, not fly. Got some pretty big mosquitoes around here too. We also have a state fish, which is the bass. Yes, the Guadalupe bass. Make sure we get that spelled correctly. Guadalupe, Guadalupe bass. And we have a reptile too. And the next, it is no surprise, the Texas horned lizard. Perhaps you've heard of TCU's horned frogs, and that's kind of their nickname for the Texas horned lizard. And then we have state food and drink. What do you suppose that is? Texas state food, if I remember correctly, is chili. Okay, seems a little warm these days to be eating chili, but okay. And why do you like living in your state? So here's the trick question that you have to come up with on your own. If you're going for another state, like I said, I was born in Michigan. I love Colorado. Why do I like living in my state? Well, my family is here. Okay. I also have an international airport close by that helps me get to other places. So these are the answers that I would put for the 20 state symbols and facts. Then we get to go back and apply the formatting changes to these answers. So once I have all these down, I'm actually going to hit Command S again to save it. And then I go back and it tells me right here to right align what's the official state name. So I select that and I'm going to right align it. And you see up here are alignments and icons. And then change the text color to purple on the state motto. So I go back up to these formatting icons, and the default is black, but I'm going to change it to purple, like what they asked me. The next one, the state capital, they want me to underline, so I can come up and click on this icon for underline. The next one is insert a standard bullet in front of the text, your population of your state. So to insert a bullet, we've used the numbering icon before. The bullet is right here next to it, and that just inserts a bullet there. Now remember, what's selected is what's affected. My next one are the colors of my flag, and I want to change the font to 20 point. So I'm going to come up here and press 20, and you see that takes it from the 12 point up to the 20 point. The next one is my state nickname, and they want me to simply bold the text. Remember, you can also hit Command B to bold. The next one is the state flower, and they want us to center align that. So here again, everything is on the left side by default. We just hit center, and that moves that out into the center of the line. The state bird is inserting a black border around the text. Okay, so this one, when you come up here to these formatting icons, you see right here there's a icon that covers borders, and we're just going to use the drop down menu, and we're going to click on outside borders, and that will put a box around that word. Okay, and you can actually come out and see how my cursor changes to grab the edge of that box. And I can, now make sure that just that line is selected when you do that. You can drag, let's see if it'll let me do it. Yeah, well, hold on. Maybe it's just this little thing. Yes, there we go. All right, that little arrow right there on your ruler. So here's another reason why you need to make sure under your View tab that your ruler is selected. So that not this line here, that's your margins, but your indent, that little arrow can be brought here, and you can just have that box go around Mockingbird. Now if you do that to all your lines, you see when I click down here it pops back over to where it should be. So that's just putting the border around that particular answer. Now the square miles, they want us, I'm going to go ahead and select the whole word, and they want us to double underline. Now the regular underline is right here under U. You can also hit Command U. But when you want to double underline, you use the drop down menu and you select double underline. Now mind you, if I use this again, yes, it remembers double underline. So I would have to go back and reset it to single, or not at all, for the next time I want to underline just a single underline. Okay, and then the largest city in our state, they want us to change the font size to 8 point, which means we would come up here and click on 8, and that takes it down really small. Our state tree, they want us to change the font style to something of our choice. So it's a pecan tree. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pick all these different fonts. You can pick whatever you like on this. I'm going to do something a little bigger and bolder. Okay. And then they want us to make it 14 point bold. So bold, even more bold, and 14 point, so that that type of tree really stands out. Our state song, they want us to insert a number 1 in front of the text, and they want us to use the numbering icon. So once again, I just automatically selected that whole line, and I used the numbering, and that will put a number 1 in front of Texas, our Texas. Okay, what is pictured on your state quarter? I will select that, and they want us to strike through the text. So fortunately, right here next to bold, italicize, and underline, there is a strike through, and we do this a lot when a professor asks you to write a paper, but they don't want you to erase anything. They just want you to write it straight out, and any changes you make, just strike through the words you don't want. Okay, so that's why that is there. What is your state animal? Our armadillo. We just need to italicize the text, which means lay it over like it's in the wind. And then what is your state gem? Blue topaz. We're going to change the text to all caps. And for that, we can come up here, and you see how this big A is moving to a small a? We can click on that, and we have sentence case, which is how things appear in sentences, you know, capital letters and smaller. We can change it to all lower. We can capitalize each word like it's a title. We can switch them back and forth, but we just, in this case, want to move all the way to uppercase. So there is blue topaz in all caps. And then monarch butterfly, what is our state insect? We're going to copy this text and paste it under your answer on a separate line. So let's do this. We copy this, meaning we're going to come up here and create a copy, and we're going to place it under our answers. So I'm actually going to hit enter one more time, and then I'll come up here and say paste. Yeah, let me try that again. Copy, and then paste. I'm sorry, big clipboard there. There it goes. All right, monarch butterfly. So it will appear twice because we only copied it. All right, and then after that, what is your state fish or aquatic life? We're going to bold and underline Guadalupe bass. So we come up here and go bold and underline. And then what is your state reptile? We're going to insert a customized bullet in front of the text. So I'm going to click on the Texas horned lizard, and I'll come back up to where we put bullets in. You see if I just click on that, it gives me an ordinary bullet. I'm going to do this little drop-down menu, and you see that there are other bullets to be chosen. There's some common ones, okay? And let's just do a square or a circle. You can choose any of these bullets. I'll just put the square in there, and that just lets you know you can use different things. for bullets. And then right here in front of chili, let's see, what is your state food and drink? We're going to insert a copyright symbol. So like if you were to write Nestle, or if you were going to write Amazon or Walmart, you would need to put a copyright symbol because that is an official name of something. It belongs to somebody else. They have the right to copy it. So to do that, we need to move to our Insert tab, okay? And all the way at the end is called Advanced Symbol, and that's going to bring this up here. And depending on what you have listed here, the font will change. You can actually drop this down, and I'm going to go up a little bit until I find, let's see, let's just do Times. I believe that has it. Yes. Okay, so Times font, and right about here you can see that there is a C that is circled, and that is your official copyright symbol. Okay, so no matter what you have in this font field, go until you find that Times. I think Times New Roman might have it as well. And then right over here, it's going to say it's a Roman character 169. Let's see if it's the same thing in Times. Yeah, 169. So you just kind of look in this area till you see that symbol, and then you say Insert and close. And you see that it is inserted that copyright. And look here, on your directions it specifically says after the text. So we want to make sure, I'm just going to Command X to cut real quick and make a space and say Command V to paste it so that that copyright is right there. And the last question is, why do you like living in your state? And all they want you to do is to select that line. And now they want us, I've got to go back to my home tab. They want us to do the underline with a dashed line. And so from that underline drop-down menu, now we can do a dashed line, and you see how that underlines it. It's a little bit of fun. Notice also that instead of going up to your icons, I put a note down here at the end of your instructions that said Command D. When you hit Command D, it will bring up your formatting dialog box, and you can do a lot of things under there. I don't typically come through here unless I need to do things that aren't readily available on the toolbar up here. Also, when I do underlined words, I can say, okay, the words are going to be this color, and the underline is going to be looking like this, and I can actually set a separate underline color. So say my words are in black and I want the underline to be in red. I can do that here. But for the most part, that's just an added bonus there, Command D, that lets you do a lot of these same things. All right, so let's hit Command S to save our document. And because we did some of our own typing, even if we were looking it up, we still need to go over to the Review tab and do a spell check. Some of these things are going to pop up simply because they are abbreviations, but we'll say OK. We need to go through and we need to proofread everything to make sure that everything makes sense. And then once again, it says to save and to close your document. So I'm going to say Command S to save and Command W to close it. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and close this because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to come back. We were following these directions here in Google Classroom. And so I can come in, and this is my teacher's side again. So you're going to come down and you're going to view the assignment. You're going to hit Add or Create. And then it will bring up a window, and you'll need to press Upload. Don't get tempted into doing anything with your Google Drive. but just say upload and then choose file, and that will bring up a Finder looking application that you'll be able to choose your file from. And then you'll just say add, and then make sure that you turn it in. And that is the end of lesson 5.3 for today. It will check your due date for when it's due. And thank you for listening.